Hello, I'm Kelley Jensen, and I'm with my friend Julianna Scott. We are the Refrigerator Moms, and today we're talking some cold, hard truths. What cold, hard truths are coming up today, Julianna?
Well, we're going to talk about nonviolent communication, and we're going to talk about the movement, the We Do Not Care movement.
Oh.
But first, we are following up our episode on tantrums, meltdowns, and panic attacks. And we did talk about all three of those with respect to children, but we overlooked the mom panic attack. Moms are experiencing panic attacks too.
Quite a bit.
Yes. So I know it comes up. Yeah, you're the one on social media.
Yes.
So people are talking about, I had a panic attack.
I had a panic attack. I've never had one before.
Right.
And they knew it was a panic attack because of the physical symptoms associated with it. Oh my God. What do I do?
Well, I can tell you what I did.
Okay.
I have had panic attacks. Have you had panic attacks?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, you probably know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the difference. One of the differences between kids having panic attacks and adults is usually we know that it's happening.
Yes. Although I have had friends that have been in the throes of one and they have thought they were having a heart attack.
Right. Right. And yes, and you always hear about stories of people going to urgent care or the ER because they thought they were having a heart attack and it was a panic attack. So it is true. But I knew I was having panic attacks because mine looked like hyperventilating, crying jag, just like really couldn't catch my breath.
Right.
And the first one I had, and the ones I've had have been related to my panic about my son with autism. So this is not uncommon. So one, I remember first panic attack I ever had, I think my oldest was a few years old. And I remember it was at night and I was facing my glass door and I was sitting on the floor. It might have been early on. I might have been, with my youngest or something. I don't know, in the middle of the night nursing. I don't know what I was doing. No, because that wasn't it. But anyway, I was looking at the glass door and I saw myself having a panic attack. And I'm just like, wow, that is crazy.
Right.
And like, what is happening to her?
Right.
And then I thought, I can't be the best mother, spouse, all these things if I'm having these kinds of panic attacks.
Yes.
And so that's when I talked to my doctor, and that's when I started taking an antidepressant, and they went away.
Okay.
Years later, I did go off my Lexapro for a while. I didn't think I needed it. And I was good for a couple years. And then my son was making a decision about where to go to college. And he was down to 2 colleges. One was about an hour and a half drive away. One was about an hour and a half plane ride plus travel either side.
Yeah.
So I really wanted him to go to the one that I could go to closely. He was leaning toward the one that was farther away. And I realized at the time, like, I couldn't just make him choose the one I wanted. And I started to have a panic attack. And that's one where my husband saw me and he's just like, whoa, what is this? And I went back on my medication. So they are real and you should talk to a professional about them. And
one of
no
the
shame.
No shame.
No shame.
One of the big reasons why we always advocate for not becoming an island and not isolating yourself from the therapies that are available for your child is that those therapies you need yourself. You need for dealing with your child. You need to know you have help for your child because the panic is the fear.
Yes.
Of the unknown. And we have to learn to live with the unknown because you don't know.
Yes.
How your child is going to behave. You don't know what's going to come up. So you have to take care of yourself so that you can keep taking care of your child and put it on the list of things to do. You put yourself at the top of the list of things to do, right?
And my initial reaction was I'm not being the mother and spouse I needed to be, which was true, but also like it wasn't making me feel good either.
Right.
So, I'm glad that those concerns forced me to get the help I needed, but I also needed to do it for myself. So people should do it for themselves too.
100%.
Yeah. So our next topic we wanted to talk about was nonviolent communication. So
NVC.
Yes, NVC. So tell me about what this approach is.
So nonviolent communication is the worst word in the world for the greatest theory of mind, I suppose you would call it, of written and created by Marshall Rosenberg in the 1960s.
Okay.
And the entire premise of it is that feelings drive behavior, behavior drives communication.
Right.
So that everything that you feel becomes what you communicate to everyone else. And it's important for autism because sometimes, most of the time, especially in young children, they don't know what they're feeling.
Right.
They haven't deciphered their feelings. And so if you put the energy into understanding how they feel, then you can put the energy into their behaviors because you know what's driving the behavior as a form of communication.
And it's also called compassionate communication, which is nicer.
Nicer, but just as stupid. And I have had so many conversations with people where they're like, and not just laymen, I mean, with professionals, with psychologists of advanced degree, and they have never heard of nonviolent communication, and they will ask you, are you violent? And it's not really what it's about. It's about getting to the feelings first. And what I want everybody to understand is that feelings are primal. Right. Feelings are the common human experience. No matter your disability, you feel what you feel when you feel it. And if it's not addressed, sometimes it manifests into panic attacks. Your fear manifests into panic attacks. Unaddressed needs, manifest in ways that you weren't counting on. And we have a tendency in our society to tamp down feelings, to white knuckle our way through them. Right. And if you just address them when you're having them, then they're processed and you can move on.
Right. And so critical in so many things that people are talking about in terms of like OCD or, you know, the whole PDA parenting and the fight or flight or the lizard brain and all of these things. It's like, it's all taps into fear. And being able to communicate that fear is, can be really pivotal.
So why don't you give us a specific example in the field of autism parenting?
Yes, I can do that. So used by parents of autistic children kind of mimics the way ABA works, right? I mean, it's feelings first, looking at the antecedent.
And I want people to understand that ABA is not just driving into a behavior. It is what is the antecedent, which is the same thing as what is the feeling that's driving this.
So the actual approach is observation, feeling, need, request. So just remember that in the middle of a meltdown.
I get a bit wordy, but that's okay.
It's not perfect. So let's say you and your kid are at an amusement park.
Okay.
You're on a ride.
Okay.
Afterwards, you're after the ride, your child seems to be, maybe putting their hands over their ears or something. And the parent you might say, I saw you covering your ears and crying after we got off the ride. So you're observing, free of blame. I felt worried and sad. So you're naming the feelings honestly. And you say, because I need to know you're feeling safe and comfortable. So you're identifying your needs clearly. And then you say, would you tell me what was hard for you and show me if this is easier? So you request with some collaboration.
Okay.
So the child might say it's too loud or the people were too close. So then you could say, thanks for telling me. Some validation there. It sounds like the loud noises and crowds made you feel overwhelmed. You're observing again. I imagine that made you feel scared or upset. Feelings. And then I want to help you feel calm and safe. Need. And then would it help if we find a quiet place together? And that is a request. And then the child might say, quiet place, yes. And you could say, okay, let's go find a quiet spot so you can feel better. I'm here with you.
Okay, so you can
scene.
Yeah, so you can see why people roll their eyes.
Yes, but if you have a shorthand for that,
that is the point I was going to make. Yes,
if you have you can speed through that whole process.
That's right.
It's much more intuitive.
Is it loud?
Yes, right. It's much more intuitive. And, again, it goes back to that. It always did help with my son too, like that validation first. Yeah. Okay, I see this is happening. I know this is hard for you. That immediately can kind of calm them down. Like, okay, I understand what's happening here. So that is a way it works. And then also when they're able to, some autistic people use this to deal with, neurotypical people too, to avoid some misunderstandings or some self-advocacy.
Yes.
If they can identify their feelings and needs and all of those things, it works. So
and it's pretty much, it gives you an amazing roadmap for, you kind of can't unsee it. Once you start tuning into what is the feeling that is driving this person's behavior, autistic or not autistic, you're kind of zoned into what is this person not saying?
And this wasn't created for autistic people. I
No.
mean, this is like, spouses, and all kinds of relationships.
right.
You can use it. You can generalize it.
It is amazing how much we gloss over root feelings
Right.
for solutions or.
I feel like I'm expressing my feelings all the time.
Yeah.
I don't think that's an issue.
Well, you're an advanced communicator. So, but your
That's
husband.
what my husband says.
Yes, your husband may not. Yeah, your husband, on the other hand, he might need a little tools. He might a little. Are you feeling?
I'm feeling overwhelmed. Do you need me to stop? Do you need a quiet place? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a quiet place is a shorthand for a happy marriage.
Totally. Okay, so this next one, we both independently saw this one because it is out there. It is wild. I think she has like 2 million followers.
It is made for 55-year-old women.
Yes, Melanie Sanders, the We Do Not Care movement. She started it because of she was feeling it in her menopausal feelings.
It wasn't like she looked in the mirror and like her outfit didn't match.
She was in the car. She just looked in the rearview mirror. She's like, just kind of took out her phone and just said, we do not care.
Yes,
like this is not happening. So it started as this movement within the perimenopause community and then expanded to encouraging all women to stop trying to please everyone and prioritize their own well-being and authenticity. And it obviously took off. So in her first one she was describing what inspired that first one. She's like, your body's tired, you're irritable, you have rage. She was in a dark place and she was just couldn't celebrate anything happening that day. So she just went off. And so it is, obviously it's viral, it's everywhere, and it's delightful.
Yes, it is.
And now people put tons of things in the comments and then she reads those. It's great. She's got her notebook. She reads them. She highlights them. She's like, this is what we're doing.
Yeah, okay.
This episode of Refrigerator Moms is brought to you by Brain Performance Technologies. Brain Performance Technologies is a specialty mental health clinic that offers magnetic resonance therapy, or MERT, for autistic people aged 3 or older. MERT is a transcranial magnetic stimulation protocol that utilizes an EEG diagnostic to deliver personalized magnetic pulses to stimulate the brain and build neural pathways effective in managing autistic symptoms.
I feel like I've been preparing for this We Don't Care movement ever since my child was diagnosed and having meltdowns in public.
Yes.
And I'm like, I don't care because I've got to take care of this child, and any cringe I had is out the window. I just gotta muscle through it. Any
expectation of what normal behavior might look like goes away pretty fast.
Pretty much. Yeah. What is something that you don't care about that you used to care about, that you would have cared about had you not turned 55? I mean, the only good thing about aging is not caring.
Not caring. I can tell you one. I don't care that our font is 25 because we can't read, and I have Coke bottle glasses on. I still can't read this. I don't care. My phone has a massive font on it.
Don't care.
We just don't care about that.
No, we do not. I don't care about heels. I don't care. Recently we celebrated my birthday because we are very good friends, and we went on a trip and we danced at a club in shift dresses and tennis shoes.
Oh my God, it was the best.
And didn't care that we didn't look pretty.
And you know what? Neither my back nor my feet hurt the next day.
That's right, because we don't care.
Maybe my head a little.
Oh,
but not my feet or my back.
That's right.
No, I do not care about shoes the way I did.
No. And even Botox, I can't make myself care anymore. It's just, I don't care. No, I'm not going to cut time out of my day to go do that. It only lasts a couple months anyway. No, I don't care.
I don't care. We don't care that I only pay attention to what shows. So if I have shoes that are showing one toe, I paint one toe. If I have a dress on, I shave up to my knee.
Nice.
It's like only what shows. That's it. We just don't care.
I would argue that maybe you really wouldn't care if you didn't shave your legs at all. That would be fully not caring.
I tried that.
Yeah. But then you're just rubbing your leg.
I didn't like that.
Yeah. I don't care to have my clothes fit properly. I like everything in size big. Like, I don't care that it's too big. I like it bigger. I like that. And I don't even notice my clothes. I don't care
No.
anymore.
No. I don't care that I eat the same thing every day. And we just don't care about that because I like what I like and I just don't care about mixing it up. And I know I don't have OCD because I know what that looks like.
I would say I care a little bit that I can't eat what I used to eat without the same digestive issues, right? That I care a little bit about, but I don't think that there's anything I can do about
And
that.
I don't think there's a viral movement about I care a little bit about it.
I wish I did. I wish I didn't. I wish I could still eat the way I used to. Movement.
Well, there is a movement for that, I think.
Yeah. Well,
but I don't know if anyone started that one yet.
In all seriousness, though, a lot of this comes from women worrying about things that shouldn't worry about, noise in our head. It also starts in your mind, right? It's nonviolent communication.
Yes, it is, again, societal expectations. So we joke about, all this other stuff, but it's what other people are putting on us.
That we're picking up on and not pushing back on.
Yes. So when you're a mom of a kid who might not be behaving like other kids, or, you really need to tune that stuff out. You need to just, I remember even before my son was diagnosed and I was in a mommy group. I was like desperately like just going nuts when I was home with the baby.
This was before you met me.
Yes. Oh, I think he was maybe 8 months old or something. And we were at a park and he was preemie. He was just flopping over. He wasn't sitting up. And all these moms were like, oh, they're sitting up and they're doing this. And I'm just like, my kids just flop. And I'm just like, I just don't care.
Yeah.
And so it's like, yeah, I can't compete with that.
Yeah.
I just don't care.
That's right.
I cared about his developmental milestones at some point, obviously, but I didn't care what other moms were thinking about it.
The middle finger is the best revenge, isn't it?
Well, in that group, they were trying to decide who was going to be Sunshine Mom in the group. That was I really didn't care about that. I'm like, I'm out. These are not my people.
We're going to have to do an episode on things autism gets you out of.
Oh, yeah.
The hidden joys.
Joys of lobbying for Sunshine Mom. Or not. So we are proud members of the club, the We Do Not Care Club.
We don't.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Refrigerator Moms. We have a free download that includes a full list of practical to-dos we shared in this episode on our website. Our refrigerator paper, our version of the white paper, includes additional what would we do's and background information on everything we talked about today. Find it on our website, refrigeratormoms.com, where you can also sign up for our newsletter. We'd also love to hear your questions. Send them in along with future podcast topics by connecting with us on your favorite social media.
Thanks for listening.
Please note that the information provided in this podcast is for informational purposes only, and it is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified healthcare provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something you have heard on this podcast. The opinions and views expressed in this podcast are solely those of the hosts and guests. Any recommendations or suggestions made are based on personal experiences and beliefs and should not be taken as definitive advice. It's important to consult with appropriate professionals for personalized guidance. A full list of citations and sources for this episode can be found in our refrigerator paper available on our website.